Hi YouTube, it's Dawn, and today I wanted to make a newborn to 6-month baby must-haves video. These are videos that I really enjoy watching on YouTube, but I find some of the products that I use on a daily basis aren't things that people have mentioned on their channels. So this is my experience. My kiddo is now 6 months old, so these are the things that I have gotten a ton of use out of in her first 6 months of life. Without further ado, let's get started on the items that I must have for newborn to 6 months. So the first thing I have are onesies that zip up. Zippers are so easy to use. Those little snaps, especially when you're a new mom with a newborn in the middle of the night trying to snap or button different outfits, is so hard. Zippers are just so much easier. I used zipper onesies pretty much up until like 4 or 5 months when it got a little easier to change her and I kind of learned the rhythm of things a little better. Zip up onesies have been a lifesaver for me. The next thing I have are muslin or muslin, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, Swaddles. And I liked these because they're very lightweight. This one's huge. All the muslin ones that I purchased are huge. This one has hedgehogs on it. But these just seem so much more comfortable. They kind of have a stretch to them that makes them a lot easier to get that really snug fit that a lot of babies really yearn for when they're being swaddled. So this was a huge thing for me because my kiddo at a very young age really did enjoy being swaddled. The third thing I have is my Medela Freestyle breast pump, and this can actually pump 2 breasts at once. It's automatic, it's battery operated. You can travel with it. As you can see, it's very small, so it's rechargeable. It has adjustable speeds, it has adjustable suction strength, and this thing was amazing for me. It really helped me stimulate my breast milk production and really allowed me to breastfeed my child exclusively for the first 3 months, and then after that it kind of drifted off because, as I've discussed in previous videos, my husband left, and being a single parent, breastfeeding I did not have the time for it while also trying to work. That's a side note. This breast pump was amazing. I love it. If you live in the US and you have health insurance, it's required that your health insurance pay for a breast pump if you're pregnant. So all you need to do is get a prescription for a breast pump from your OBGYN, and then you can find a breast pump company that accepts your insurance and order from there, or I believe even like Walgreens and a few other pharmacy places will take your prescription as payment for a breast pump. But this Medela Freestyle one was amazing. I love it. Could not more highly recommend it. The next thing I have is my AntiColic bathtub, and I don't know if you guys can really see it here, but it has kind of this rubber mesh material with a bunch of little holes in it, and you just sit this in your bathtub. I started out using just this in the bathtub and her alone, and I'd kind of just bend over and wash her, and then I started co-bathing with her, and ever since like 2 to 3 months I've co-bathed with my daughter. So I just put this in the bathtub, and then I am facing it and I kind of straddle it like this. I'm not sure if you guys can get a good image of what's going on there, but she'll be down in the bathtub. I can wash her. It's just a nice little bonding skin to skin experience for us, and this just works amazing. I've never had any problems with it. It's so easy to keep clean. I just keep it in the bathtub, and she seems really comfortable in it. She's never seemed uncomfortable, even when she was a newborn, in this. So I love this, and she's getting fairly close to growing out of it, which makes me kind of sad. She's 15 pounds now. She's 6 months, and she's getting kind of big for it. I'm guessing around 7-8 months she's going to be too big for this, but I love co-bathing with her with this AntiColic bathtub. I cannot more highly recommend this. The next thing I have are these Avent or Avent, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, Philips Avent bottles. And these are, I'm not sure exactly what kind they are. They're they're the AntiColic bottles, and my daughter never had a colic problem, but even so, these bottles have worked amazing for her. This is one of the few bottles she'll take. I've tried a ton of different brands, from Tommy Tippy to Mum brand, and none of them work for her like Avent by Philips does. So I really recommend these bottles. You can also get free samples of these bottles. You get a free sample in the Walmart welcome box, which you get if you sign up for a baby registry. I'll leave a link for how to do that in the description box below. And then you can also get a free sample of them in the Walmart Baby Welcome Box, which I'll also leave a link for in the description box below. That one you just pay for shipping, and you will get a sample of a ton of different baby products, including one of these bottles. The next thing I have is this forehead thermometer, and I have used this a ton, especially in the last 2 months because my kiddo has been teething a little bit. So she does get those days where she's just really cranky, and I just have to check and see if she has a temperature, and if she does, I can give her a little bit of medicine to bring that down. But this is just so easy to use. I'm not a fan of rectal thermometers. I've never used one. They kind of freak me out a little bit. I have a fly flying around. But this forehead thermometer is so easy to use. I can just stick it on her forehead. It's no pain to her. It's amazing for me, and so far it's been fairly accurate. So this is just a Walgreens brand one, but I suggest any forehead thermometer. Next thing I have is my Burts Bees Baby Shampoo and Wash in a calming scent, and I have tried a few different baby washes and shampoos, and this is just the one that I keep going back to. I love the scent of it. It's so gentle. It smells really soft, like a lavender chamomile smell. It doesn't get really sudsy, but it really does get her clean. Her skin is so soft when she comes out, even without lotion. I love this stuff. It is all natural, and they are cruelty-free too, so I'm just a huge fan of Burt's Bees, which actually brings me to my next product, which is my Burt's Bees Diaper Rash Ointment. I have used this daily on my kiddo since she was 2 months old. I just put it on after the bath, just lather it into her bum, and as you can see, like, this one is almost empty. I love this stuff. I again have tried a few different diaper rash creams. This is the one I keep coming back to because it just works. I love Burt's Bees brand. I love the fact that they're mostly natural and they're cruelty free. They're just awesome, and cannot more highly recommend their diaper ointment as well as their shampoo and wash. The next thing I have is something that I didn't even know that I was going to need, but my ex-mother-in-law got this for me. When my kiddo was itty bitty, in her first few days of life, she got really bad gas because I had been eating a ton of broccoli. I love broccoli, but I didn't realize that it would go into my breast milk and then it would affect her gastrointestinal tract. And because of that intense amount of broccoli that I'd been having, and then it getting into the breast milk, she got really bad gas. So my mother-in-law went out and bought us these gas relief drops, and it's essentially you just take this little syringe. There's directions on how much you should give to them, and then fill a syringe and just pop it into the kiddo's mouth. Literally, no joke, I had tried everything with my kiddo. The bicycling of the legs, rubbing of the tummy, holding her to where she was on like a tummy time position, rocking her, breastfeeding her, everything I could when she was about a week old, and nothing worked to get this gas out of her system. I gave her these drops, and within, not even joking, 5-10 seconds, she had calmed down. It was amazing. It was magic. So these are little remedies, gas relief drops. Have them on hand if nothing else. If your kiddo is just so fussy and really having trouble with gas, try these. I was super skeptical of them at first. I didn't like the idea of giving my kiddo medicine, but after seeing how much pain she was in and then how relieved she was after these drops, they were a lifesend, and I am so happy I have them on stock. I will keep them on stock for all of my future kiddos. Shout out to my ex-mother-in-law, but she is amazing. She knew what she was talking about with these things. Love them. The next thing I have are hooded towels. This is just one that my mom got me. It has a cute little elephant on it. But hooded towels have just been awesome for me. I bring the kiddo out of the bath, put them into the towel. Is the kiddo getting whiny? But I just pull my kiddo out of the bath, put her in the towel, and dry her off, and these have just worked awesome. I really like them. Most of them are made to be really soft because they're for baby skin, and I think they're so cute. Hooded towels are just a yes for me, and I love, if you hear a little one in the background, it's because my little one is decided to be chatty right now. But I love that these will even be able to grow with her, because as you can see, it's fairly long, so even toddler age, she's totally going to be able to stick these over her head in a little cap and then wrap herself around with them. So cute. I love them. What's wrong? What's wrong? Do you want to get up? Okay, and then next thing I have is a baby carrier. I will probably make some baby wearing videos in the future, but this baby carrier is by Jeep brand and it is awesome. I have, oh my gosh, so many other carriers. Any carrier is just amazing. It makes your life so much easier to be hands-free with a little one. My little one was in a carrier from 3 months onwards. I was using a carrier with her and I just love them. I have her on me when I'm cleaning, I have her on me when I'm shopping, I have her on me when I'm taking hikes, when I'm taking walks. Pretty much anything I'm doing, if she needs to be picked up and have attention and I need to get stuff done, this carrier allows me to do it. I just strap her on, she rides along with me for whatever I'm doing. This just allows me to get things done throughout the day, and as a single mom, this is a necessity. So I am so in love with my baby carriers. This one is Jeep brand, but I also have Bajorn, app carriers, sling carriers, JJ Cole, like you name it. I have so many carriers. So I love them, cannot more highly recommend trying out baby wearing. It's a little intimidating at first, but once you get the hang of it, you will love it. Now the next thing I have, she's actually grown out of now, but this is a Velcro Swaddle, and I used this almost daily for the first 2 months of her life. My kiddo really loved being swaddled, and this was just a really easy way for me to tuck her in and then tightly Velcro it across. It's also so soft and so warm. This is an insulated one, and she was born in February, so this did come in handy. I really loved this because it was so easy to use and she just loved being snuggled up in it. It would always soothe her down pretty quickly, and it was a lot easier to get the hang of for a first-time mom instead of like actual large square swaddle blankets that you have to like wrap a specific way to really get them in place. This one was just super easy to use because it's Velcro, so I suggest having at least one Velcro swaddle in stock for new moms because it is something that is a lot easier to get the hang of, and you can just really quickly strap your kiddo in and get them in a comfy, tight little swaddle without having to worry about all the specific ways to fold the blanket. Then I have my Boppy Pillow. This thing has come in handy for like 10 bajillion reasons, but of course while you're breastfeeding you can put it around you and get your kiddo in a position on the pillow there. They can also like lay with their head here laying down, and I will put her in that. She's napped in that multiple times, and I've also fed her that way. You can do tummy time where they're laying up on their back and they're kind of like looking down ahead of them. She loves doing that, and it's just, I love this one. It's a cute design. I got this at a thrift shop for $15 and I absolutely love it. So I highly recommend trying out the Boppy Pillow. I thought this wasn't going to be a necessity for me, but then 6 months in, I was like, this was definitely a necessity. I use this all the time. Another thing that I thought I was not going to use or need, and turned out that I absolutely needed, was this Bouncy Chair. And unfortunately, I moved to an apartment that does not have ledges along the doors to where I can use this, which really stinks because I love this thing. But it's essentially, it's so hard to see, but it's a bouncy seat. You put the kiddo in the seat here, and then you hang this from a door frame, and it kind of has a spring to it so they can just bounce in the doorway. And this is so handy. My kiddo absolutely adored this and bounced around in it. She was so content in it. It really let her get that energy out, and I loved it. Again, I got this at a thrift shop, and this was only like $10 at a thrift shop. So amazing find, and one of those things that I thought wouldn't be a necessity, but my kiddo ended up loving and using so much. The next thing I did not even know existed until I began searching for it. Essentially, my kiddo did not like laying down. When she hit like 3-4 months, she wanted to sit up all the time. She wanted to see the world around her. So I was like, I can't be holding you sitting up all the time. There has to be a product out there that allows you to sit up. Introducing the Sit Me Up seat. As a experienced mom, if you are one, you probably realize that this exists and you've seen them like 1,000 times. I just didn't know because I was a new mom. So I found this thing and bought it. This was on Amazon. I'm not sure how much it cost, maybe 30-40 bucks, but oh my goodness, so worth it. I use this all the time. I will put her in her Sit Me Up seat, and I will use this on the kitchen counter while I'm cooking. I will put her on this on the couch beside me while I'm working. She can just literally just travel around in this seat, stay sitting up. It keeps entertained. It has these toys here that she absolutely loves just chewing on. This cover is actually removable so it can be washed, and it's just this awesome little seat that you can take places. That if you have a kid who's super curious, isn't sitting up on their own yet, but really wants to see the world around them and be in that upright position, sit me up seats are amazing. The next thing is not a traditional item that you're going to see in any kind of baby haul or baby must-haves video, but this is something that I'm swearing by, and it is a Himalayan sea salt lamp. These you can find at TJ Maxx, at Marshall's, at so many discount stores. You can also find them on Amazon. They run about 15 bucks. I got this one because it was dimmable. I got it for my bedroom when she was like 1 week old. I went out and bought this lamp. I was like, I want a dimmable sea salt lamp because I just knew it was going to have like that really subtle glow to it that allowed me to fall asleep because the room was dark enough to fall asleep in. But when I woke up 50 bajillion times in the middle of the night to breastfeed her and change diapers, this light had a really light, nice glow that allowed me to see what was going on. I could get her latched without having to turn on a bright light. I could change her diaper without having to turn on a bright light. And this thing was just amazing. It's also dimmable, so it can go to a really low setting, or if you need a little more light, it can go up a little bit without like blaring light into your eyes. The glow of it is amazing, and my kiddo loved this. At nighttime when she was really struggling to get to sleep, I would lay her on my tummy and she would look over at this lamp. It had this really pretty orangish pink glow to it that really attracted my kiddo, and she would just kind of watch this lamp until she fell asleep. For me, I still use this to this day. It is so pretty. It's so unique. Like it's my style. It may not be your style, but a dimmable lamp in general, so nice to have around because you can get it on that low setting. You can keep it on the low setting if you have to as your kiddo is sleeping at nighttime, and when you're waking up a ton, you're not going to have that super bright light. So I love this lamp. I will leave a link to it in the description box below. But if you are not a huge fan of the Himalayan sea salt type of lamp, I suggest a nightlight of some kind or a dimmable lamp of some kind, because it will make your life 1,000 times easier to just have that really soft light in your room with a newborn. And my last thing, as you can see if you watch my baby haul video, this is also in there, but this is a stroller, not a specific brand. I got this for $35 at a thrift shop, and I love having a stroller. I didn't realize that I was going to use it as much as I do, but living in an apartment and having a kiddo that you really can't like get out and like set a tiny 2-month-old in the grass, or bring your 5-6-month-old to some place where there's going to be like a lot of mosquitoes out or something like that. And I do live in an area with quite a bit of water near a river. So having a stroller that I can just take her out, get her in the sunshine, get her outside, walk around conveniently, let her get like a full view of everything that's going on, it's really nice. And I use this thing daily. I love it. Most of the time I do have her in the carrier when I'm shopping or anything like that because it's hands-free, but when I'm purposely taking her out just to have a nice time with her, then I'm using this stroller, and it is awesome. Again, it's not something that I thought I'd need, but the stroller has been a really great thing for me to have on hand, and I'm sure I'll be using this for a few more months with her as well. So I do recommend getting a stroller if you can afford it, because it is something that I have really utilized and loved getting out with my kiddo with. So there you have it. Those are all of my baby necessities that I have found that I use a ton and also don't quite see in other people's baby hauls. So you see a lot of like the nose Fritas and certain brands of Swaddles and things like that, and not all of my things are brand specific. Honestly, it's just like generic things, like generically having a carrier, or generically having a sit-me-up seat, or generically having a Boppy Pillow. Brand specific doesn't really matter, except with like the few things I mentioned: the Burts Bees shampoo, the Burts Bees diaper ointment cream, the Avent bottles, and the tub, the Angel Care tub. Those are the brand specific things that I really, really love. But other than that, None of my things are brand specific. They're just things that I have found that have been super helpful to me and made my life as a first-time mom of a newborn who happened to become a single mom shortly after her birth. These have just been amazing. They've made my life so much easier. So I hope if you are a new mom, maybe some of these items will make your life easier. I'd love to hear your must-have items in the comment section below. I'm always looking out for items that can make my life as a mom easier. So please share those with me. I will also leave links in the description box below to most of these items. There's some like the Stroller and the Boppy Pillow that I'm not going to be able to find exact links to because I bought them at thrift shops. But anything that I bought online, I will leave the links to those below. So if you're interested in getting them, you can buy them exactly where I bought them. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I do plan on making a video about the items that I bought and wasn't a huge fan of, and I'll be posting that tomorrow. So if you're interested in that, please come back, and thanks for spending your time with me.